So just thank you. Then just in regards to questions, I can't see everybody now on the screen, so if anybody has any questions, you feel free to put something into the chat, or if you want to use the reactions button and raise your hand, then I think you jump to the top of the screen for me, so that will be easier. But I think the rest of the colleagues and myself will try and keep an eye out anyway. But yeah, if you do have any questions, don't be afraid to ask as we go along. I hope you don't leave the meeting while we're going through it, but obviously if you need to, we fully understand, and you can just use the leave button to do that. And obviously I will be sharing the screen as we go through with the slides. So the topics to be covered today, we're going to do an introduction to the Share Foundation, then talk about how's the young person located their account, the resources available to locate their account, unclaimed accounts including the bilateral agreement, problems claiming their account. We'll talk about the care leaver covenant and how this can help young people, and obviously we will have a session on questions as well at the end too. So I'm going to start really by talking about the Share Foundation. We're a registered charity. We've been operating since 2005, and in the early days we were tasked to raise, or we were raising money for child trust funds in the Buckinghamshire area. We were then awarded the government contract in 2012 to set up and administer the junior ISAs for looked after children. And then in 2017, October 2017, that contract widened to also cover child trust funds where there was no one in position of parental responsibility. Pleased to say the contract has been renewed now for the next 4 years. That's from April 2023. So we will be continuing our work as the Share Foundation. And all costs are covered by the government or a philanthropist. So any money that we receive for donations for young people's accounts, 100% will go in there. Nothing is charged to the local authority. We are all covered in terms of the costs by the contract. So we have junior ISAs and child trust funds as part of these savings schemes. So both are long-term savings accounts, which are set up by the government and were or are available to all children under 18 in the UK. And I say were because you're probably all aware the Child Trust Fund scheme closed for new accounts on the 2nd of January 2011, when the Junior ISA scheme took over. So if you have a young person in care or have been in care, if they were born, earliest birth date would be the 3rd of January 1994, up to the 31st of September 2002, they will be under the Junior ISA scheme. For any young people that were born in the UK from the 1st of September 2002 and up to and including the 2nd of January 2011, they will have the Child Trust Fund scheme, or likely to. And any young people born then thereafter from the 3rd of January 2011 are now then returning to the Junior ISA scheme. So obviously the only thing there was any young people that were in care for a year and were born in the Child Trust Fund years, and they were born overseas, then we can provide a Junior ISA once they become eligible for that, if they're unlikely to have a child trust fund. Anyone can contribute to an account, and the Share Foundation can only manage the child trust fund accounts where local authorities or health trusts confirm that there is no one or no one suitable in a position of parental responsibility. So obviously when the data is sent to us by the local authority or health trust, then we will be identifying that young person with their date of birth. And if they were born in the Child Trust Fund years, we'll be going back to the local authority to ask, is there anyone in a position of parental responsibility? And if there is, then is that person suitable or deemed suitable by yourselves to manage that account effectively? If the answer to those questions is a no, there isn't, a no, no one's suitable, or yes, there is, but no, they're not suitable, then we will be then taking control of the account. So we'll have to go to HMRC, find out where that account was opened, and then go to the account provider to advise that we will be taking control of the account. Obviously, if the answer is yes and there is somebody, then we would do no more. That account obviously would remain with that person with parental responsibility. Any questions? Okay, wonderful. So I will now going to pass you over to Sue.
Hi everybody. Right, has the young person located the account? Letters are issued to the local authority for onward distribution to the young person in care in order to claim their account. These letters are sent at 16, excuse me, and if no action is taken, they're also sent again at 17 and a half. If the child is approaching 18, they're sent in. They're 17 years and 10 months, we will send them a cheque because it's not worth opening an account. We haven't got time to open an account before they reach 18. So we'll then send a £200 cheque. If a child is found, if he's been in care for a full complete year, left care, and we've not been able to set up an account, council need to send them in on a retrospective report so that we can send a check out to that young person because they've been in care but we've not got an account. The valuation report, every child has an account opened we have the responsibility for that account, and they will be on the valuation report. If they're not on the report, that means we've not got the responsibility for looking after that account. And also, if the Share Foundation can provide a report showing that the young person has started the process of locating their account. So if you need any of that report, please send us an email and I can get one sent over to you for children that have claimed their account.
Perfect, thank you, Sue.
Okay.
Has anyone got any questions regarding that?
Yeah. We will be doing more questions at the end if anybody wants to leave it till later, it's up to them. But I can pass you on to Dagmar now. Thank you.
Right, good morning, everybody. Right, for the young people to try and locate their accounts, these are the links. You've got the My JISA. This is for young people that were born before the tax year and have been in care who are eligible for JISA. So they complete the form. If we match the data, we can get a letter out to them as soon as possible. The My CTF is relevant for young people in care, been in care who has a CTF, so they were born in the CTF years, where the registered contact, where Share Foundation were the registered contact and therefore have account details. If matched, a letter is sent to the young person. The Find CTF, now this can be used for children that have been in care, but we also get parents phoning up where the child hasn't been in care. Now this is a form that needs to be completed and then submitted and then printed off and signed by the young person, because we will need their permission to go to HMRC to find the accounts. And as I say, this is also used for young people not in care 16 plus, as long as they've got a national insurance number. And also, if you are helping these young people, they must use their own email address and not the parent or guardian, because it's going to be the young person that we're contacting with the information. So we do need their details. Unclaimed accounts. Right, other reasons why the young person 18 may not have cleaned their accounts: a difficulty with name changes. So we need to have any information regarding this on the data. You've got the limited capacity. This is where the young person has an appointee who then helps them and may have control of the account. So they would need to contact the provider and maybe get third-party access to have authority on that account to be able to help them. We've got the young people that have maybe died in care. So we need that on the data that comes through from the local authority to us, so we can get the relevant letters out to the main contact for the beneficiaries to be able to claim the account. And then in prison is quite difficult because some may have access to the internet, some may have limited time to the internet. So sometimes the social worker will go in and help them complete the form and to complete the form and actually help them claim their account. As Sue said, the earliest dates for a junior ISA under the looked after scheme was the 3rd of January 1994 up to the 31st of August 2002, and then that's when the CTF started. The bilateral, now this is interesting. I don't know whether all the local authorities have claimed their have received their bilaterals. If you haven't, then just let me know and I can resend a copy, but I'll send it by email to you. Now this is where I will send you, once I've got the form back, I will send you the information of the unclaimed accounts. Send that to you. You then complete that with their last known contact details, which is the last known address, last known telephone number, and last known email address. And then once I've got that back, I can then contact relevant young people to claim their account. With some of the local authority, this has been very successful at the moment. We've had a big increase in the traffic going through the searches. So it has been successful. And if you do need the data where the young person has claimed the account or is in process of claiming the account, we can send that information to you upon request. So we just need an email to say, can you send me the information of people who have claimed and who are in the process of claiming? And that's it, really. Any questions?
Dagmar, I see there's a question from Mickey.
Yeah.
Can an appointee complete the MyJISA link on behalf of a young person with limited capacity? I mean, the answer to that is that the form can be completed online and there doesn't need to be a signature. So hopefully that will help in that regard. Thank you.
The only form that really needs a signature is the Find CTF, because that's the one that has to go up to HMRC, because it was HMRC that opened all the accounts originally. Any other questions? No? Okay, I will pass you over to
Me.
Les.
Hi, everybody. Right, so this is quite a ongoing issues we have for some of the young people. So problems claiming the account, and we're going to start with bank accounts. So a lot of young people don't have a bank account. So we do have a option whereby if a beneficiary of a JISA account cannot provide appropriate funds, they can be paid into the local authority. So basically the way this works, there's a form to complete and we send the money to the local authority and the local authority will pay out the young person. You have 30 days to do so. And then obviously if it's not back in within the 30 days, we'll ask for the money. We'll ask for the money back again. So that's one issue. Yeah, so you can see signed confirmation from the beneficiary received in 1 month. Monies must be returned. Yeah, so as I mentioned, so that covers the bank account. Identity documents. We do have quite regularly discrepancies with the name or date of birth, especially with a JISA. With unacclaimed asylum seekers, obviously we realise that their tests are done. So yeah, we have quite a lot of queries with the dates of birth on those ones. With CTFs, when the young person was born, the government would have opened the account, and again we have it where young people don't have documents for their change of name. When they do send documents in, we do recommend that they send in certified copies than the originals. Obviously you don't want original documentation going missing in the post, and also other issues where they don't have any ID at all. So we would suggest that the young person obviously speaks to the provider to see what they will find acceptable, i.e. if they haven't got a passport, if they haven't got a driving license, bank account, they must have backup procedures in place to what they will accept as identification. We do have some known problems with some of the providers, and this mainly being the address. There's a big provider that uses their address as a security question. We've been in contact with that provider, and we've told them on numerous occasions that the young person's not going to know what the address is when the account's open. They've sort of said that they are going to stop this happening, but we do still getting occasional calls from young persons saying they're getting nowhere because of the address issue, and then the provider refers them back to us at the Share Foundation. Another issue we also come across is where we've gone down to the HMRC and we've asked them where the account is. We've told the young person it's with, for example, one family. Young person's gone to one family and the account's been moved to another provider. And with that, one family don't necessarily have the information as to where the account's been moved to. Although the young person is 18, we're not meant to get involved, but we do. We try and help wherever we can to help the young person get hold of their funds. And that's it from me. Any questions on that part? That's good. Okay, I'll pass you back to Sue P.
Oh, lovely. Thank you, everyone. So just moving on now to the care leaver covenant. So I have actually got a link here, and I'm just going to take you to the care leaver covenant page. If anyone's familiar with this, then great, but if not, it's really worth going to have a look at this. The care leaver covenant is providing a lot of support for young care leavers. And there's a lot of organisations that will sign up and offer lots of opportunities. So you can see here, there's organisations, some are offering training, some are offering employment and apprenticeship schemes. So, and significantly, the Metro Bank, they have a reputation now for assisting care leavers in opening bank accounts. So all things to be considered when helping young care leavers. Let's return to the presentation. Thank you. So in relation to the local authority engagement, there's also a page here that does actually explain a lot more about the work that local authorities are doing as part of this, or should be aware of. So again, that page is certainly worth a visit as well from the local authority perspective. Sorry, I'm just stepladder of achievement. So hopefully most of you are aware of the stepladder of achievement, but just to also be aware, the stepladder plus, which is the incentivized version, is only open to young people born aged 15 to 18 years. Once they reach 18, we can't provide money, we can't pay money, we can't give them the rewards because we're not allowed to pay money into an account when they're 18. So the stepladder of achievement offers the same 6 steps, the same financial education, but is not incentivized. But from a financial education perspective, 15 to 25-year-olds can undertake that. So it's really worth, considering that as well for your young care leavers. There's also MAPS, who have a money helper website that's really worth looking at. That's for all sorts of people, actually. MAPS is obviously part of a government organisation, and they provide lots of information regarding money, so that's a really useful website. Our 18 plus page provides all the links to all of this that I've explained, and I would recommend that. It also has the links to all the claiming of the accounts. So I think the Care Leaver Covenant is really one to be aware of for young people, and I don't think I have a lot of people that are not familiar with that. So hopefully that will benefit anybody really who's supporting young people that are leaving the care system and need some future support. I see from the chat, Rebecca, you've said, is the covenant also applicable in Scotland? To be fair, I would need to find that answer, and I will happily do that for you. So if you could just bear with me on that one, I will check that. So has anyone got any questions or any further questions on that topic? If not, then we will go to question time anyway. So I will stop sharing the screen. If everyone's happy, as we've got time, we're still only at 11, so we'll just stay in the room, and then anyone who has questions, that could be beneficial for anyone else as well. We're here to answer all questions, so please, do feel free to ask us anything that you need to. I did just want to re-emphasise about those links that Dagmar talked about. The Find CTF link for young people in care, that is relevant for when a local authority or trust have told us that there was somebody with parental responsibility. So where there's a responsible adult, we will not have the account. So the Find CTF link works for those young people in care where we have not got the account, so we don't know where the account is held. So what they will do is they will fill an online form. We will check it through our looked after children database. If that isn't matched, we will check it with our tracing group. We work with a tracing group, and they have a database for child trust funds with some of the big account providers. If it's matched there, we'll be sending that young person an email. If it isn't matched, then that's when we need that signed subject access request form. So we ask that young person to send that in preparation, because we will need to send that to the HMRC, who will then advise us where the account was opened, and we in turn will email the young person with that information. So, but we are also doing a nationwide Child Trust Fund recovery campaign for all young people, even if they aren't in care, to try and help them find that Child Trust Fund. So we use that Find CTF link to do that. But as Dagmar said, the My JISA and the My CTF, both of those, the young person would have been given that link because we are the registered contact, and we'll be able to hopefully find that account quickly and write to them with the account details.
I should say, Caroline, what local authority are you with? I can send the presentation over.
It's Lancashire County Council.
Okay, I'll get that over for you.
Brilliant, thank you very much.
Thank you. If anyone else does want the PDF of this presentation, please do let us know and we'll be happy to send that. Sorry, Suda, could you just reconfirm which local authority?
Yeah,
Oh,
Slough.
That's
Yeah,
lovely.
I know.
So you're in control, Des. That's what I like to see. Mickey, you have your
I've
hand
got you,
up.
Mickey.
Hi. Yeah, sorry, I waved first, but I meant to put my hand up.
Yeah,
The CTS where they can click the link to find the CTS, but they're not looked after. Do they have to be 16 to use that link?
All of those links are relevant only for a young person who is 16 and over. The reason being, Mickey, is that a young person can actually take control of their account from the age of 16. So they wouldn't be able to have that information beforehand because they can't take control of the account until they're 16. And when we say take control, it means that they'll become the registered contact. They'll be able to make their investment choices. So if they do choose to take control of their account at 16, that's fine. If they leave it where it is and they're still in care, the Share Foundation can continue to make contributions to it. If the young person chooses to move that account, however, obviously we would not be able to make any more donations to it, because as long as we know where that account is, we can continue to make contributions even if the young person is the registered contact. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah. So we had a worker contacted me recently. They're working with a young person who's 14, who was previously in care, eligible for a child trust fund, left care because they were adopted, and the adopters are saying they never claimed the child trust fund. It's not on our list of unclaimed child trust funds. So how could the adopters track the child trust fund down? Would they have to do it via HMRC?
No, Mickey. When a young person leaves care and the local authority advises that they've left care, then a status change letter is sent out to our main contact at the local authority for onward distribution to that person with parental responsibility. Because obviously, if the young person is under 16, it would have to be the parent or guardian that would need to take control.
So I think this all happened, but it's quite a historical one. He was adopted some years ago. When it was the official solicitor managing the child trust fund. So the adopters are saying they don't know anything about a child trust fund, and he's now back in care, and we still consider he has someone with PR, so we're not going to submit his details again. So yeah, it's just about how could that child trust fund account be tracked down?
Okay, so that status change letter, as I say, should have been sent. When have you not got a copy of that?
Well, it was back. The official solicitor didn't used to send.
Oh, sorry. So it never
letters.
even came to us. We did, Mickey. We did a reconciliation in 2017 when we took over all the child trust fund accounts. We did a big reconciliation in terms of checking with local authorities with the accounts that we've got. To see whether the young person was still in care or not. If they weren't in care, they were called what I think it's called a letter A, but it's that status change letter for a child trust fund where we need lots of documentation in order to change it over. So I think it's worth you just contacting Des with that young person's details, and we can just resend or reinvent that letter again, because they should have had that letter in 2018 when we did that reconciliation process, if the young person wasn't in care then.
Okay, yeah, so I have got some of those letters, but we didn't have one for him, which is why I'm thinking the adopters did claim it, but they're saying they didn't, and I just wasn't quite sure.
If you wouldn't mind, send the details to Des, and then he can have a look at it and we can investigate it a little bit further, if that's okay.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem whatsoever. I mean, if you're saying there's a responsible adult, then that responsible adult should have that letter, so that they can give us the details. If we're still the registered contact, they need to give us the paperwork, and then we can pass over. We can't just pass it over just because you say we have to go through the legal process of actually getting the paperwork that's required. It's normally a letter signed by all parties with responsibility asking to take control. We would then also want a photocopy of photo ID of those people with parental responsibility. We'd ask for a photocopy of a recent utility bill just to prove their address. And then we'd ask for the original or a certified copy of the full adoption order if they've been adopted, or the birth certificate if they're returned to parents. And then we can do that check. And then assuming we're happy, Des would send all that paperwork back. And he'd also provide all the details of what they do to actually take control of the account.
Okay.
Does that help you, Mickey?
Yes, it does. Yeah, thank
Lovely.
you. I'll
No,
send it
no
over.
problem whatsoever.
Send it over, Mickey, and I'll have a look at it.
Lovely, thank you.
Excellent. Has anyone else got any queries or questions? No? Excellent. All right, well, we'll send the PDF presentation to anyone who has asked for it. That's fine. Anyone else decides they want it, no problem at all, just let us know. We will close the meeting now if anyone hasn't got anything else, but we will stay here until the very end. So if anyone does decide they've got any more questions, then please do, do hang on there, and that's fine. But if you want to leave, then just with the leave button, you can do so. And it's been great. Thank you for coming.
I'd just like to reiterate that if you haven't got the bilateral agreement, just let me know. And as I said, I can resend another copy for you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.